हाँ जी, good morning students.
Good morning.
हाँ जी, first of all beta, I am going to start with today's topic which is called loops. So first of all you need to understand what is a loop. What is this? Yes, this is what a loop. Fine. So how we can correlate it with the programming?
Continuous process in which only one thing happens repeatedly.
Yes, definitely, बच्चे. Loop is a continuous process. If I say that कि this circle, it has no end, ठीक है? And if it's I start from one point and just continuing moving around the circle, it shows a continuous process actually. When we talk about any kind of loop or any kind of continuous process, our first example is a circle, ठीक है? So when I talk about the real life explanation of the loop, so you encounter a very prominent example of loop. Red traffic lights, fine. So this is red, this is green, sorry, this is yellow, and this is green. So is there any person who is there to handle these lights? कि इतने seconds बाद ये भी switch होना चाहिए, इतने seconds बाद ये भी switch होना चाहिए. होता है ऐसे? Let's suppose if I am just standing in the crossing and here are multiple red lights at the end of each pole. ठीक है? We have single kind of lights are there. ठीक है? It actually rotates the lights. ठीक है? First ये वाली जगह, then we have the turn of this one, then we have the this one, then we have the this one, and it is a never-ending process. Again, this will come, then this will come, then this will come, and then this will come. Fine. So is this clear now? We have the concept that once the lights will occur here, then this will come, then this will come, then this will come, according to the certain period of time. Fine. And every time, after every time delay, ठीक है, each pole will encounter along with the lights, ठीक है, और उसके accordingly हमारी जो traffic की lights है वो channel होती है. And obviously it's a never ending process. तो reason ये है कि ये जो lights encounter होती हैं, ठीक है, ये रुकती भी नहीं. Fine. So we will explain this part with the help of a program at the end of the session. ठीक है? I have the program depicting the lights. ठीक है? So definitely we will go for it with the help of loops. So now we are going through with the concept of
for loop and while loop. We use the mobile phone to stay connected with our loved ones. We have a data and calling plan on our mobile phone which are recharged periodically. We visit the website or app of data service provider, select the plan, choose mode of payment, make the payment and receive confirmation of successful transaction. This activity is repeated very often. The repetition of a task in Python is called iteration.
So what I have just given you the example of the red lights. Again, it is a repetition of the task. Every time red, green, yellow lights are actually repeated again and again. Fine. So they have just gone through with the example of the mobile recharge. Okay? So whenever we are having any kind of repetition, to handle that repetition, we use the concept of loops. Okay? And in Python, we are having two types of loop. One is the for loop and one is while loop. Fine.
In the program are executed repeatedly using looping constructs. Let us consider an example where we are trying to make a list of odd numbers from a set of numbers ranging between 1 to 100,000. The list of odd numbers between 1 and 100 is shown here. Now you can imagine how time-taking and tedious it is to list down the numbers in such a huge range. Therefore, we use loops or iterations to perform such repetitive tasks. Loops execute program statements repetitively according to the logical condition. The logical condition is checked based on the control variable of the loop. It keeps giving the output infinitely till the condition is proved false or an exit condition is defined.
First of all, when we talk about loops, there are 3 points we need inside the loop. So what kind of 3 points we need to run a loop? The first is initialization. We have to put the initial point. From where to start the loop. Fine. And the second point is the increment or decrement. How far we want to go? Fine. And we need to go with the what kind of steps? Okay. If I look behind, so I have to decrease myself. If I look forward, I have to increase the steps. Okay. And the third part is the condition. It is the destination point. How far I want to go. Fine. So these 3 things are required to run a loop. First, initialization, then increment or decrement, and then there must be a kind of target or condition. Okay? If we skip this point, then we don't know हमें कहाँ तक जाना. Fine. If we skip this part, and if we skip this part, then we will be at the initialization point and we don't know the steps. Fine. हम मूव नहीं कर पाएंगे आगे at the absence of increment or decrement. Fine. Then if we skip this part, then our starting point is missing and we don't know where to start. So all these 3 points are required to run a smooth loop. Got it? Is that clear?
Yes.
Loops are of 2 types, for loop and while loop. For statement or the for loop iterates over the entire range of values or a sequence. It means that for statement iterates over each item in the list, tuple or string. The control variable checks if each value in the range has been traversed with each iteration by the loop. That is, if each value has been read and accessed. When each value in the range has been traversed and statements in loop are exhausted, then control is given to the statement following the for loop. It is provided in the program how many times the loop will be executed. The number of iterations is specified in the looping construct. For example, in list 1, I is the control variable and for loop gets executed once for the entire range.
So in previous program, we know that the loop is handled by the loop is handling the list. We are traversing each and every element of the list with the help of loop. This is the very simplest or easiest or convenient way to access the each and every element of the loop. Sorry, each and every element of the list.
The syntax of for statement is for control variable in sequence or items in the range.
So this is the syntax of for loop. Any query, bachche? This is the syntax of the for loop. For here we have to write the control variable which is used to control the loop. Then in we have to find out this control variable inside the sequence. Okay? So we have to find out the control variable inside the sequence. Whatever sequence we are providing here, we are providing here a range, we are providing here a list, okay? Or we are providing here any kind of data structure, okay? Where the loop is actually used to hold. Then this is the block Again, Python is an indenting language. We have to take care of the indentation while writing any kind of structure. Whatever lines we are giving inside the for, it should be slightly moved to the right. Fine. If we are not going to move to the right, then what will happen?
Error.
Error will be there. It is not error will be there. It will be that it will not accept any of the single statement inside the loop. ठीक है? I'm going to show you the practical here. So I'm going to enlarge the screen as well, so that the instructions are clear to you. Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay. I simply write here I in range. What is the purpose of range function? Actually, in earlier languages, we have to specify the initial point separately and the condition separately, the endpoint separately. Fine. With the help of range, we can combine all these things and we can just specify the list of range. It automatically picks the range. If I say I have just provided the number 10, it automatically go through with the 1 to 10 values. There is no need to provide separate initialization statement and the condition statement. Then there is a column. Simply print I. So what it will print?
It will print the array of 1 to 10.
It will print the
Array of 1 to 10.
range of 1 to 10. Fine. So when I run it, I got it here.
0 to 9.
Yes, Sachin. Because I have specified the 10 inside the range. I have specified the 10 inside the range. Range means yes, 0 is also included, Bachche. I have specified the range 10. The upper limit will not be included, but it will pick the numbers from 0 to 9. Okay? Always, whenever you go for any kind of position, as I told you earlier in case of list as well, it always just pick the position number, but upper limit is not included. Is that clear? So every time just I go through with the list of upper limit is not included. So that is why it goes through with the number 0 to 9. So 0 से number start हो जाएगा and you can see the output here. Got it now?
Yes.
Fine. So I is a control variable. You can say that I is a control variable.
Yes.
Fine. So if I is a control variable, it is obviously that we can control this range on the behalf of I.
Yes.
I can control.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So if I say if I mod 2 is equal to 0, what it will print? You have done this program earlier. When I check the number I mod 2, I will divide it by 2 every time, and it will check the remainder part by 0.
Yes.
So what it will display?
Odd numbers.
Odd numbers or even numbers?
Even.
Even numbers. Fine. So here is the even number part. You can see here all the even numbers inside the range has been printed here. Is that clear?
Yes.
Haji, is that clear this program?
Yes, yes.
Any doubt?
No problem.
Matlab, there is no point that I will go with this kind of condition again and again and I will just print the numbers. Again, what you are doing, you are just entering the number through user. Okay? And just check the number one by one.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. But now, I have just taken out the range. Fine. And with the help of the range, I just capture the even number from first 10 numbers. Is that clear? So this is the format or syntax of the for loop. ठीक है? Inside for loop, I can also specify the any other control structure if it is the requirement of the program. Fine. So next we are going to continue with the while loop as well.
For example, for I in list 1. The flow of for loop starts with the initialization statement and moves on to the testing expression. That expression is true if it executes the statements in the body of the for loop and keeps doing it till the condition is not true. Once.
Better, this is what? This is the flow chart arrangement of the for loop. Fine. When I'm going to go through with the for loop, so obviously this kind of arrangement of this kind of the control execution was done with the help of for loop. First it will start and go with the initialization statement, then test expression is there, and this is the body of the for. But every time it finds the value inside the range, see, every time it finds the value inside the range, okay, it just check that whether the I is in the 10, okay, if I start from the 0, the value should not exceed from 10. Okay? So in simple case, we can say that here I am just checking that if I is equal to 0, I is less than 10. Fine. Automatically it actually checks this kind of condition. I is equal to 0, I should be less than 10. So we have just cut short the statement inside the range, and we have just used the range function to show that the i's value should not exceed to 10. Every time it checks the I value inside the range. Fine. And it just go with the body of the for loop. Fine. Now if I exceeds the range, next time when I got the increment and it exceeds the range, fine, because for loop automatically provide the incremental condition to the I as well. So if I exceed the range, it is providing the value 10 or 11. In that case, the condition will get false, okay, and it exit from the loop. Okay? After that, statement following the loop and then stop. So this is the flow control structure of the for loop.
Keeps doing it till the condition is not true. Once this condition turns false, the loop is exited and control is given to statement following the loop and the program terminates. Let us consider an example to understand for loop. Suppose we want to iterate through a string using for loop. The string str1 says, I am learning Python. The control variable I is used to select all the items in str1 and printing them till the string gets exhausted. Let us now look at the output of the program. Let us consider one more example of printing multiples of 5 till 50 using for loop. Here we have defined the condition using the range function, which begins from 1 and goes on till 1 less than 11. That is,
have you just go through with this kind of syntax of range function? Anyone? No? Speak loudly, no?
No, ma'am.
Now, whatever your response should be, it should be loudly. Don't get confused. Fine? So range 1, 11, 1. This means that it will start the value from 1. We can specify the lower limit. Okay? We can specify the upper limit. And here is the step. The third argument is step. Fine. So obviously it will move from 1 to 11, okay, and moves one by one step. Okay. So this is a full actual, you can say that syntax of the range. We have used earlier range 10, that is just partial syntax. We have just only included the upper limit of the range. But in this we are also going to with the lower limit as well as the upper limit. Fine.
10 and has an increment value of 1. In the body of the loop, we multiply 5 by every number beginning from 1 through 10. Range is an inbuilt function in Python. It is used to create a sequence of integers. all parameters of range function must be integers. Range has start, stop, and step parameters. When start parameter of a range is not specified, then the range function counts from 0. When stop parameter of a range is not specified, then the range function counts values till the last number of the range. When step parameter of a range is not specified, range function counts values with the interval of 1. For example, let us print numbers from 0 to 5 in the range 6 using range function with only one argument in for loop. The control variable r is printed till 1 less than 6, that is,
there is one other interesting point I need to tell you about this. Whenever we are just going through with the print statement, it always just comes with the by default new line character. Is it or not? Whenever you write the program, so obviously whenever you are going through with any kind of print statement, so in the next print statement, the statement will occur in the next line automatically. So print will come with a new line character.
Yes.
Fine. So when you are having the print character, if we don't want that new line character, what if we don't want that new line character at the end of the print? So there is an option that we can specify the end statement. Fine. We can specify the end statement with this blank value, or you can go with any kind of comma if you want. Otherwise, you can leave it blank as well. Fine. So this will omit that new line character. It will omit that new line character. See here. I can show you it lively. Like 1. When I print the 1, so every single number is coming in new line.
Yes.
See here. Every single is coming in new line.
Yes.
If I say that key, comma, and so what it will do, it will just go through with the, you can see here, all the letters or digits are in single line. Fine, without printing in a new line. So this is the way we can omit the concept of new line character inside the print. Is that clear?
Yes.
Anji, is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
5. As the start parameter is not mentioned, the values start from 0. The while loop executes a block of code, iteratively provided the given condition is true. Similar to the for loop, the condition must become false after certain iterations, otherwise the loop will become infinite and return a logical error. The syntax of while loop is while test condition followed by code. Let us look at the flow chart of the while loop. The flow starts with the initialization statement, followed by the testing expression. If expression is true, it executes the body of while loop and iterates till the condition is not true. Once condition turns false, the loop is exited and control is given to statement following the while loop and the program terminates. Let us consider an example of printing numbers 1 to 4. Here, I is control variable. Condition is while I is less than 5. Print I at interval of 1. The while loop has executed the condition till number 4, which is less than 5, and terminated because at number 5 the condition became false. Here is what we have learned. Do statement following the while loop and the program terminates. Let us consider an example of printing numbers 1 to 4. Here.
So, beta, at the in this year, we can just go through with the difference between the for loop and while loop. While loop, as I told you earlier, that we have only this thing as a part of syntax condition. while loop syntax will not include initialization, while loop syntax will not include increment or decrement. Fine. So while loop syntax only include condition. Fine. While loop syntax only include condition. Fine. So as I am just comparing the syntax of both of them, we have for find I in range. ठीक है, चलो go for it. 1 comma 10, then 1. After that print I. This is a two-line syntax of for. Is that clear? Fine. So what about while? In while we are having I is equal to 1 separately. ठीक है? We have I is equal to 1 separately. Then we have while along with the condition. While along with the condition. Fine. Then inside the block of while we have to specify the increment or decrement. Fine. Like I is equal to I plus 1. Like this. This is the 4-line syntax of while. So this is the main difference between for and while. Fine. For includes everything inside the syntax, where while includes only condition inside the syntax. We have to specify the initialization point and increment or decrement point separately. But that there is a question, then why we need while then? We can handle the for. But in certain conditions, in certain things, we need while when we have to go for it separately. We have to break all three things. We have to break all three things, and I am going to show you this as a program, okay, of chatbot. Today I am going to discuss the program of chatbot with the help of this while loop. Here we need to specify the certain conditions. Here we want to specify the increment or not. Fine. We don't have any choice in this case. If I want to put any kind of condition for increment or decrement in for loop, there is a no choice that we can skip increment or decrement at some point. But we have choice inside the while loop. Fine. Is that clear?
Yes.
Any doubt till now?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay. So these are the points that we have covered. That is, in Python, repetition or iteration is performed using loops. We know that. Repetition or iteration is performed using loops. Loops are of two types. Yes. For loop and while loop. For loop iterates through the entire range of the value or sequence where we have inbuilt what? Yes, initialization and increment or decrement. In for loop we have inbuilt initialization and increment or decrement. Okay? But we are also using the range function with the help of for loop to specify the increment or decrement. Okay? While loop iterates a block of code. While loop only iterates a block of the code. And we have to specify the initialization or increment or decrement separately. Increment or decrement inside the code and initialization outside the code. So these are some points. And this is the program I am going to show you here. You will find it useful and you have to attach this program inside your project. I am going to enlarge it a bit. So is it visible to everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Now, according to this program, I have first created the database with the help of list. Okay? Every list I am just having the variable. Okay? And with the help of variable, I have just gone through with some kind of answers here. Okay? Now, here is a loop. See the function of loop here and the actually function of while loop here. Fine. I am just providing you here the while along with the ending variable. ठीक है, along with the ending variable, and there is a is equal to input. I am just going through with the user term. Whatever the response is entered by the user, there will be a both answer.
Yes.
ठीक है, and both answer will be according to this, and there is a random choice. That both will choose any kind of random choice. ठीक है, and according to that random choice, it will just present you answer separately every time. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want to show the running of the project?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm just going to run it. So you can see here, he is just asking me user talk. So hi, and the bot is answering
Hi.
fine. Then how are you? And the bot is answering sorry bot because I have just put the wrong spellings of how. That is HOE. Isn't it interesting?
Yes.
So ये बेटा program आपने बनाना है as assignment. Fine. So with the help of while loop along with the list. Fine. Along with the list. Then there is another interesting program for you. I think you will find it interesting. Andy, can you just tell me what kind of program is this? I just speak up loudly. It is the rapid type program, and what I have used here, some coloroma file, okay? And then there is a time which actually includes the delay time, okay? So when I run it, I have just gone through with the infinite loop here because I haven't specified any kind of starting point. ठीक है, मैंने सिर्फ ending is equal to true लिखी है, मैंने ending कहीं पर false नहीं की यहाँ पे. Fine. So when I run this program, first I have to create this program. Now I'm going to run this program, and you can see the impact. It is just showing you the colorful way of red, yellow, green with a specific interval of time, and all this happened just because of the usage of while loop. Which loop? While loop. मतलब for loop is convenient. I know that जहाँ पर उसका रोल आता है तो for loop अपना रोल बहुत अच्छे से प्ले करती है. But while loop का अपना एक significance है. While loop is as much important as the for loop. And in many cases, while loop provides you more suitable responses as compared to for loop. Fine. According to system, it's yellow. Fine. So here we have some kinds of notes are here. If the condition does not become dash, loop becomes infinite. So what should be the answer? If condition does not become false, the loop becomes infinite. The loop will become infinite. Fine. Then, if we want to directly increase or decrease the iteration value inside the body of the loop, we use which loop? If we want to directly increase or decrease the iteration, if we want to directly increase or decrease the iteration value inside the body of the loop, then while loop. Fine. So क्या है यहाँ पर? While loop. Fine. So I hope the topic is clear to you, बच्चे, and I will post the assignment to you later on. Fine. And you have to work on the programs which I have assigned you during this lecture.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubt till now?
No, ma'am.
Okay, बच्चे. Thank you so much.